Struggling to grow your glutes no matter how many squats you do? Most people are wasting time on exercises that don't truly activate the glutes. Your glutes aren't just for looks. They power your strength, speed, and stability. And if you're not training them right, you're leaving serious gains on the table. The glutes are made up of 3 key muscles: the gluteus maximus, the powerhouse responsible for hip extension, the gluteus medius and gluteus minimus, which both play a crucial role in hip stability, abduction, and external rotation. To fully develop your glutes, you need exercises that target these 3 functions. Today, I'll break down the 4 best glute building exercises and exactly how to do them for maximum growth. And stick around, there's a bonus exercise at the end that can make all the difference. Hip thrusts. If you want bigger, stronger glutes, hip thrusts need to be a staple in your routine. Unlike squats, where tension shifts between multiple muscles, hip thrusts place direct resistance on the glutes, especially at the top of the movement when they contract the hardest. Since hip extension is the glute's primary function, it makes sense that this exercise is one of the most effective for growth. Studies back this up. A 2015 study on trained women found that hip thrusts activated the glutes nearly twice as much as squats when performed at a 10-rep max. Another 9-week study in 2023 showed that while both exercises led to similar glute growth, hip thrusts emphasized the lower glutes, whereas squats built more quads and inner thighs. To do them right, position a bench behind you and roll the barbell directly over your hips. Lean back so your shoulder blades rest near the top edge of the bench. Then, drive through your heels and extend your hips until they're fully locked out, squeezing your glutes at the top. And if you don't have a barbell, you can use dumbbells or resistance bands and still get the benefits. And remember, foot placement is everything. Set your feet too far forward and you'll shift the tension into your hamstrings. Too close and you'll feel it more in your quads. The key is to position your feet so that your shins are vertical. Bulgarian split squats. Bulgarian split squats maximize that deep stretch at the bottom of the movement, one of the most powerful triggers for muscle growth. But I won't lie to you, these are brutal. Your legs will shake, your glutes will burn, but that's exactly why they work. Studies show that single leg exercises like the Bulgarian split squat can lead to strength gains similar to barbell back squats, while also improving balance, stability, and coordination. Because you're training one leg at a time, it eliminates strength imbalances that traditional squats might hide. A 2021 study also found that Bulgarian split squats place significantly less stress on the knees, making them a smart option if you're recovering from an injury or want to build strong glutes without overloading your joints. Now let's make sure you're doing them right. Stand in front of a bench holding dumbbells at your sides. Place the top of your back foot on the bench and step into a staggered stance. Lower yourself by bending your front knee while keeping a 45-degree forward lean. This helps shift the focus onto your glutes. When your front thigh is parallel to the ground, pause, then drive through your front heel to return to the start. Keep your core tight, stay controlled, and embrace the burn. Romanian deadlifts. Unlike hip thrusts, which generate force at the top, RDLs focus on eccentric loading, emphasizing the deep, controlled stretch of the glutes and hamstrings as you lower the weight. And that stretch, it's a key driver of muscle growth. Studies show that RDLs elicit near maximal hamstring activation, which directly translates to high glute engagement since both muscles work together for hip extension. Keeping constant tension on the posterior chain forces the glutes to work harder, making RDLs one of the best exercises for building stronger, fuller glutes. In fact, research comparing deadlift variations found that while the stiff leg deadlift slightly edges out RDLs in glute activation, the Romanian deadlift is superior for targeting the hamstrings, making it a must-have for glute and hamstring development. The key to getting the most out of RDLs is mastering the hip hinge. Start with a slight bend in your knees, then hinge at your hips while keeping your back flat and core engaged. Lower the weight slowly, feeling the deep stretch in your hamstrings and glutes. Once you reach the bottom, where your hamstrings are fully stretched but your back remains neutral, drive your hips forward and squeeze your glutes hard at the top. For a greater effect, try pointing your toes slightly outward. Research suggests this can increase glute activation by up to 39%. Seated hip abduction. If you want that upper shelf look, where your glutes are not just strong but visibly rounded and full, you can't skip the seated hip abduction. While hip thrusts, split squats, and RDLs build glute size and strength, they don't fully target the gluteus medius and minimus, the muscles responsible for hip stability, balance, and side-to-side movement. That's where this exercise comes in. Studies show seated hip abductions isolate the glutes better than many free weight exercises, helping correct imbalances, improve hip stability, and boost compound lift performance. A further review of 575 studies found that side-lying and standing hip abductions, which mimic this movement, are among the best for glute medius activation, making this machine a top choice for upper glute development. To set up, sit upright with your back against the pad and maintain a neutral spine. Exhale as you push your legs apart, fully externally rotating your hips, then slowly return to the starting position with control. Depending on your hip structure, you may need a slightly more internal or external starting position to fully activate the glutes. Leaning forward while keeping your back flat increases the stretch on the glute fibers, forcing greater muscle activation with each rep. Step-ups. If you want a glute building exercise that translates to real life, step-ups are a must. Every time you climb stairs or get up from kneeling, you're mimicking this movement, but when done with intention, step-ups become a powerful tool for glute activation and strength. A 2020 systematic review found that step-ups elicit some of the highest levels of glute activation, even outperforming squats and deadlifts. This is likely due to the stabilization demands, which force the glutes to work harder. To perform them correctly, choose a sturdy bench or box at knee height. Step up with one foot, keeping your knee aligned and driving through your front heel to lift yourself up. Engage your glutes at the top, fully extending your hips. Lower yourself slowly and with control, avoiding the urge to push off with your back foot. For an extra challenge, use a higher step or add dumbbells. If balance is an issue, start lower and work your way up. Do you agree with the list? Or do you have a go-to glute exercise that we missed? Drop a comment below. If you found this video helpful, check out these 2 videos for more expert tips to maximize your gains. Stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next one.